When Sheriff Tom Bradley walked into the farmhouse at 4782 County Road in rural Montana on December 8, 2013, and found 6 members of the Henderson family executed in their beds, including 4 children aged 3 to 12, he didn't know that the killer had sat at their dinner table the night before, that the only survivor was a 9-year-old boy hiding in the closet who watched everything through a crack in the door, and that the person who pulled the trigger was someone the family called Uncle Ray for the past 15 years. Billings, Montana. December 8, 2013. Sunday morning. 7:23 a.m. Dispatch receives a 911 call. The voice is small, terrified, a child. My family? They're not moving. There's blood. So much blood. Please help. The operator tries to keep him calm. What's your name, sweetheart? Danny. Danny Henderson. I'm 9. Where are you, Danny? Home. 4782 County Road. Please hurry. I think they're dead. I think everyone's dead. Sheriff Tom Bradley responds. 54 years old. 28 years in law enforcement. Rural Montana. Quiet county. Farming community. Everyone knows everyone. Violent crime is rare. Murders almost never happen. But something in that child's voice tells Tom this is different. He arrives at the Henderson farmhouse. 7:41 a.m. The property is isolated. 15 acres. Nearest neighbor 2 miles away. The house is a modest 2-story. White paint peeling. Wooden porch. American flag on the pole. Pickup truck in the driveway. Everything looks normal, peaceful, quiet, but Tom knows. Nothing is normal. He approaches the front door. It's unlocked. He enters, calls out. Sheriff's Department. Danny, can you hear me? A small voice from upstairs. I'm here. In the closet. I'm scared. Tom climbs the stairs, slowly, hand on his weapon. The smell hits him halfway up. Metallic, copper, blood. He reaches the second floor. 4 bedrooms. The first bedroom door is open. Tom looks inside, and his world stops. Master bedroom. David and Sarah Henderson, both in bed. Both shot in the head. Close range. Execution style. David is 41. Sarah is 39. They're still in their pajamas. Peaceful expressions. They never woke up. Never knew what happened. Tom's hands shake. He's seen death before. Car accidents. Farm accidents. Heart attacks. But not this. Not murder. Not execution. He moves to the second bedroom. Twin beds. 2 boys. Michael, age 12. Joshua, age 7. Both shot in the head. Same method. Same precision. Same cold execution. Tom feels bile rise. Children. Babies, murdered in their sleep. Third bedroom. 2 girls. Emma, age 10. Lily, age 3. Same scene. Same horror. Same evil. 4 children, dead, executed. Tom can barely breathe. Can barely stand. Then he hears it, crying, soft, muffled. 4th bedroom. Smaller, a child's room. Tom enters. Danny? It's Sheriff Bradley. You're safe now. Can you come out? The closet door opens slowly. A small boy emerges, 9 years old, thin, pale, wearing Superman pajamas. His face is streaked with tears. His eyes are hollow, traumatized. Tom kneels, speaks softly. "Danny, you're safe. I'm here. No one's going to hurt you." Danny stares at him, then whispers, "Uncle Ray did it. Uncle Ray killed them all." And this is exactly where everything changed. Tom takes Danny outside, away from the house, away from the bodies, away from the horror. Paramedics arrive. Check Danny. Physically, he's unharmed. Not a scratch. But mentally, emotionally, he's destroyed. Tom sits with him, gentle, patient. "Danny, I know this is hard, but I need you to tell me what happened. Can you do that?" Danny nods. His voice is barely audible. "Last night, Saturday, Uncle Ray came for dinner. He comes every Saturday. He's Dad's friend. They grew up together. Uncle Ray doesn't have family, so we're his family. Mom always makes extra food. We eat together, watch TV. Uncle Ray plays with us. He's nice. We love him." Tom writes everything down. "What happened after dinner?" "We went to bed. Normal time. 8:30. Mom tucked us in, kissed us goodnight. I was in my room. I couldn't sleep. I heard a noise downstairs. Around midnight. Footsteps. I thought maybe Dad was getting water. But then I heard another sound. Like a pop. Quiet, but scary. I got scared. I hid in my closet. I left the door open a crack. I could see my bedroom door." Danny pauses, trembling. Tom waits. Doesn't push. Finally, Danny continues. "I saw Uncle Ray. He came upstairs. He had a gun. A big black gun. He went into Mom and Dad's room. I heard 2 pops. Then he came out, went into Michael and Joshua's room. 2 more pops. Then Emma and Lily's room. 2 more pops. Then he came to my room." Tom's heart pounds. "What did he do?" "He looked around. Looked at my bed. It was empty. He looked confused. He checked under the bed. Checked behind the door. But he didn't check the closet. He stood there for a long time, just looking. Then he left. Went downstairs. I heard the front door close. I heard his truck drive away. I stayed in the closet all night. I was too scared to move. Too scared to look. When the sun came up, I came out. I checked everyone. They weren't moving. So I called 911. Tom's eyes fill with tears. This 9-year-old boy watched his entire family get executed. Hid in a closet for 7 hours. Surrounded by death. Alone. Terrified. And the only reason he's alive is because the killer didn't check the closet. You won't believe this, but the killer's motive was hiding in plain sight. Tom immediately issues an APB for Raymond Ray Mitchell, 43 years old, local handyman, lived in Billings his entire life, grew up with David Henderson, best friends since childhood. Ray never married, no children, no close family. The Hendersons were his family. He spent every Saturday with them. Dinner, games, laughter. He was Uncle Ray to the children, trusted, loved, part of the family. But now he's a mass murderer. Tom checks Ray's address. Small trailer on the outskirts of town. Run down. Isolated. Tom and his deputies surrounded. 9:15 a.m. Raymond Mitchell. Sheriff's Department. Come out with your hands up. Silence. They breach the door. The trailer is empty. But inside, they find evidence. A gun safe. Open. Empty. Boxes of ammunition. 9mm. Same caliber that killed the Hendersons. And a note, handwritten, on the kitchen table. Tom reads it. His blood runs cold. I'm sorry. I had no choice. David betrayed me. He took everything. I gave him 15 years. 15 years of loyalty, of friendship, of trust. And he stabbed me in the back. He deserved this. They all deserve this. I'm not sorry for what I did. I'm sorry it had to be this way. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. You'll never find me. Tell Danny I'm sorry he had to see it. But he needs to know. His father was not a good man. Ray, Tom stares at the note. Betrayal? What betrayal? David Henderson was a farmer, a family man, a church-goer, respected in the community. What could he have possibly done to make Ray murder his entire family? Wait, don't miss this detail. Asterisk Tom digs into David Henderson's life. Financial records, business dealings, property records. He finds something. 10 years ago, 2003, David and Ray went into business together. They bought a 200-acre property, planned to develop it, sell parcels, make a profit. They were equal partners, 50/50ths. Each invested $75,000, their life savings. The deal was simple. They'd hold the property for 5 years. Let it appreciate, then sell. But in 2008, during the financial crisis, Ray needed money. His mother got sick. Medical bills. He asked David to sell his half of the property. David agreed. But instead of selling Ray's half, David bought it for $50,000. $25,000 less than Ray's original investment. Ray was desperate. He took the deal. David promised he'd give Ray a fair share when the property eventually sold. Ray trusted him. They were brothers, best friends, family. But David never sold. He held the property. And in 2012, a developer approached David, offered $800,000 for the entire 200 acres. David sold, pocketed the entire amount, never told Ray, never gave him a share. Ray found out in November 2013, 1 month before the murders. He confronted David. David claimed the property was legally his. Ray had sold his share. The deal was done. Ray argued. They were partners, brothers. David promised. David laughed, said business is business. Sighed Ray was naive, said he should have read the contract. Ray was devastated, betrayed. 15 years of friendship destroyed. $400,000 stolen. His trust shattered. And he snapped. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet. Asterisk Tom issues a nationwide manhunt. Raymond Mitchell. Armed and dangerous. Wanted for 6 counts of first-degree murder. His photo circulates. Local news. National news. Montana family massacre. 6 dead, including 4 children. Killer on the run. tips flood in. Sightings across the country: Wyoming, Idaho, North Dakota. All false. Ray has vanished. No credit card usage. No phone activity. No digital footprint. He planned this. Knew he'd run. Prepared. But Tom doesn't give up. He studies Ray's history, patterns, behaviors, relationships. Ray's mother died in 2009, buried in Fossen, Billings Cemetery. Ray visited her grave every Sunday, without fail, for 4 years. It's now December 8th, Sunday. Would Ray risk visiting his mother's grave? Tom stations deputies at the cemetery, undercover, watching, waiting. 2:47 p.m. A pickup truck pulls into the cemetery. Old, rusted, different plates. But Tom recognizes the driver, Raymond Mitchell. He parks, gets out, walks to his mother's grave, kneels, cries. Tom and his deputies approach, quietly, weapons drawn. They surround him. Raymond Mitchell. Hands up. Don't move. Ray doesn't move. Just kneels, staring at his mother's headstone. Finally, he speaks. I knew you'd be here. I knew you'd figure it out. Stand up. Hands behind your head. Ray complies, slowly. No resistance. No fight. He's done. Defeated. Empty. Tom handcuffs him. Reads him his rights. As they walk Ray to the patrol car, Ray speaks. Is Danny okay? Tom stops. Stares at him. You killed his entire family. You murdered his parents, his brothers, his sisters. And you're asking if he's okay? Ray's eyes filled with tears. I didn't want to kill the kids. I just wanted David. But they were witnesses. They would have seen. I couldn't leave witnesses. I had no choice. You had a choice. You chose to murder 6 people. 4 of them children. Ray says nothing. Just stares at the ground. They put him in the car. Drive him to the station. The manhunt is over. But the nightmare is just beginning. What you're seeing now is nothing compared to what comes next. Asterisk Tom interrogates. Ray. Small room. Cold, sterile. Ray sits across from him. Calm. Resigned. Ray, why did you kill them? I told you. David betrayed me. Stole from me. Destroyed me. So you murdered his children? Babies? A 3-year-old? Ray's face twists. Pain. Guilt. Justification. They were part of him. Part of his perfect life. The life he built with my money. My trust. He took everything from me. So I took everything from him. You took innocent lives. There are no innocent lives in that family. Sarah knew. She knew David stole from me. She spent that money, bought that house, that truck, those clothes. She was complicit. And the kids? They would have grown up thinking their father was a hero, a good man. They needed to know the truth. So you murdered them. I freed them from his lies, from his corruption. Tom stares at him, disgusted. You're insane. No, I'm justice. David escaped the law, escaped consequences. So I became the consequence. And Danny? The 9-year-old who watched you murder his family? What about him? Ray's expression changes, softens, regret. I didn't know he was there. I checked his room. His bed was empty. I thought he was at a sleepover. I didn't want him to see. Didn't want him to carry this. But he did see. He watched everything. And now he'll carry it for the rest of his life. Ray closes his eyes. A single tear falls. I'm sorry. I'm sorry he had to see. But his father did this. David's greed. David's betrayal. That's what killed them. Not me. Tom stands. Leans over the table. No, you pulled the trigger. You murdered 6 people. You destroyed a child's life. You're a monster. And you'll spend the rest of your life in prison. Ray doesn't respond. Just sits. Silent, broken, empty. But the truly shocking part is what Danny reveals next. Months later. April 2014. Raymond Mitchell's trial. The courtroom is packed. Media, spectators, victim advocates. Ray sits at the defense table. Orange jumpsuit, shackled, emotionless. The prosecution presents overwhelming evidence. Forensics, ballistics, Ray's confession. The note, motive, premeditation. But the most powerful testimony comes from Danny Henderson, now 10 years old, living with his aunt and uncle. In therapy, traumatized, fragile, the judge allows him to testify via video. To protect him from facing Ray, Danny sits in a separate room. Camera on him. His face appears on screens throughout the courtroom. The prosecutor asks gentle questions. Danny, can you tell us what you saw on December 7th, 2013? Danny's voice is quiet, shaking. I saw Uncle Ray. He came upstairs with a gun. He went into each room. I heard sounds, pops, and he came to my room. He looked for me, but I was hiding. Where were you hiding? In my closet. I left the door open a little. I could see him. What did Uncle Ray do? He looked around. He looked confused, like he was trying to find me. Then he left. Were you scared? Yes, I was so scared. I thought he'd find me. I thought he'd kill me too. Did Uncle Ray ever hurt you before that night? Danny pauses, thinks. No, he was always nice. He played with us, brought us candy, made us laugh. I loved Uncle Ray. Do you still love him? Danny's eyes fill with tears. I don't know. He killed my family, but he was my family too. I don't understand. Why did he do it? Why did he take them away? The courtroom is silent. Not a sound. Not a breath. Everyone is crying. Even the judge wipes his eyes. Danny continues. I miss my mom. I miss my dad. I miss Michael and Joshua and Emma and Lily. I miss them so much. Every day I wake up and forget. Just for a second. Then I remember. They're gone. They're never coming back. And it's because of Uncle Ray. I hate him. But I miss him too. Because he was part of my family. And now everyone's gone. I'm all alone. The prosecutor has no more questions. The defense has no questions. What could they possibly ask? The video ends. Danny's face disappears from the screens. The courtroom remains silent, broken, devastated. Just when they thought it was over, the verdict came, May 2014. After 3 weeks of testimony, the jury deliberates. 4 hours. They return. The judge asks, has the jury reached a verdict? We have, Your Honor. On the count of first-degree murder of David Henderson, how do you find? Guilty. On the count of first-degree murder of Sarah Henderson, how do you find? Guilty. On the count of first-degree murder of Michael Henderson, how do you find? Guilty. On the count of first-degree murder of Joshua Henderson, how do you find? Guilty. On the count of first-degree murder of Emma Henderson, how do you find? Guilty. On the count of first-degree murder of Lily Henderson, how do you find? Guilty. 6 counts. 6 guilty verdicts. Raymond Mitchell shows no emotion. Just stares straight ahead. Empty. The judge speaks. Raymond Mitchell, you have been found guilty of 6 counts of first-degree murder. The brutality of your crimes is beyond comprehension. You murdered an entire family. 4 innocent children. You destroyed a community. You traumatized a child who will carry your evil for the rest of his life. This court sentences you to 6 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. You will die in prison. May God have mercy on your soul, because this court has none. Ray is led away, shackled, silent. He glances at the gallery, looking for someone, anyone, but there's no one. No family, no friends, no support. He's alone. Just like he made Danny, the trial is over. Justice is served, but the damage remains. What happens next would define everything. Danny Henderson grows up with his aunt and uncle, Sarah's sister and her husband. They try to give him a normal life, therapy, school, friends, but normal is impossible. How do you recover from watching your entire family get executed? How do you sleep when you close your eyes and see Uncle Ray with a gun? How do you trust when the person you loved most became your worst nightmare? Danny struggles. PTSD, nightmares, panic attacks, depression. He withdraws. Stops talking. Stops eating. Stops living. His therapist, Dr. Ellen Morris, works with him for years. Slowly, patiently, helping him process, helping him heal, helping him survive. At age 16, Danny writes a letter to Sheriff Tom Bradley. Dear Sheriff Bradley, I wanted to thank you for saving me, for finding Uncle Ray, for making sure he couldn't hurt anyone else. I know you did everything you could. I know you tried to protect me, but I need you to know something. I'm not okay. I don't think I'll ever be okay. Every day is hard. Every night is worse. I see them, my family, in my dreams, in my memories. I hear my mom's laugh, my dad's voice, Michael's jokes, Joshua's questions, Emma's songs, Lily's giggles. And then I remember, they're gone. Uncle Ray took them, and I couldn't stop him. I couldn't save them. I was hiding in a closet while they died. I'm alive because I was a coward, because I hid, because I didn't fight. I carry that every day. The guilt, the shame, the survivor's guilt. My therapist says it's not my fault, that I was a child, that I couldn't have stopped him. But I don't believe her. I should have done something, screamed, fought, warned them. Something, but I didn't. I hid, and they died. I don't know if I can keep doing this. Keep living. Keep pretending. It's so hard, so exhausting, so painful. But I'm trying. For them, for my family, because they didn't get to live. So I have to. For all of us. Thank you for everything, Sheriff. You're a good man. I hope you know that. Danny Henderson. Tom reads the letter, cries, feels the weight, the burden, the guilt. He visits Danny. They talk. Tom tells him the truth. Danny, you were 9 years old. You did exactly what you should have done. You hid. You survived. You called for help. You didn't fail your family. Ray failed you. Ray failed all of you. And you're not a coward. You're the bravest person I know. Because you're still here. Still fighting. Still living. That takes more courage than anything. Your family would be proud of you. I'm proud of you. Danny cries. Tom holds him. Lets him break. Lets him grieve. Lets him heal. Just a little. You won't believe what Danny does next. Years pass. Danny turns 21. December 2025. 12 years after the murders. He's in college. Studying psychology. Wants to help trauma survivors. Wants to turn his pain into purpose. One day, he makes a decision. He writes to Raymond Mitchell, in prison, serving 6 life sentences. The letter says, Uncle Ray, it's Danny. I don't know if you remember me. I'm the boy who hid in the closet. The boy you didn't kill. I'm 21 now, an adult. I've spent 12 years trying to understand what you did, why you did it, how you could kill my family, kill children, kill me almost. I've been angry, hateful. I've wished you dead 1,000 times. I've imagined hurting you the way you hurt us. But I'm tired. Tired of carrying this hate, this anger, this pain. My therapist says forgiveness isn't for you. It's for me. To let go. To move forward. To heal. So I'm writing to tell you, I forgive you. Not because you deserve it. You don't. Not because what you did was okay. It wasn't. But because I need to. I need to stop letting you control my life. Stop letting that night define me. I forgive you, Uncle Ray, and I hope you find peace. Because I'm finally finding mine. Danny Ray receives the letter in prison. Reads it, cries, for the first time in 12 years. He writes back, Danny, I don't deserve your forgiveness. I don't deserve your peace. I took everything from you. Your family. Your childhood. Your innocence. I destroyed you. And I can never undo that. I think about that night every day. Every hour. I see their faces. Hear their silence. Feel their blood on my hands. I'm haunted, tortured, destroyed, and I deserve it. I deserve worse. You asked why I did it. The truth? I was broken, betrayed, angry, and I let that anger consume me. I let it turn me into a monster. Your father hurt me, but I hurt you, and that's unforgivable. I'm sorry, Danny. I'm so sorry. I know it means nothing. Changes nothing. But I need you to know. I loved your family. I loved you. And I destroyed the only thing I ever loved. I'll carry that to my grave. Thank you for your forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But it's the only light I've seen in 12 years of darkness. Be well, Danny. Live the life they couldn't. Ray, Danny never writes back. He doesn't need to. He said what he needed to say. He let go. He moved forward. He healed, not completely, never completely, but enough. Enough to live. Enough to love. Enough to honor his family by surviving. That's the truth no one tells you about trauma. It never fully heals, but it can transform. From a wound into a scar. From pain into purpose. From death into life. Sheriff Tom Bradley retires in 2020. 35 years of service. Hundreds of cases. Dozens of tragedies. But the Henderson family massacre haunts him most. Because 6 people died. 4 of them children. And 1 survived. Traumatized. Broken. Carrying a burden no child should carry. Tom visits the Henderson family grave every year. December 8th, the anniversary of the murders. 6 headstones. Side by side. David Henderson, 1972 to 2013. Loving father and husband. Sarah Henderson, 1974 to 2013. Devoted mother and wife. Michael Henderson, 2001 to 2013. Forever young. Joshua Henderson, 2006 to 2013. Our little star. Emma Henderson, 2003 to 2013. Daddy's princess. Lily Henderson, 2010-2013. Our baby angel. Tom kneels. Places flowers on each grave. White roses. 6 of them. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. I'm sorry I couldn't stop him. I'm sorry Danny had to carry this alone. But I promise, he's okay. He's surviving. He's living. For all of you. He's the strongest person I've ever met. You'd be proud. Rest easy. You're not forgotten. You never will be. Tom stands. Wipes tears. Walks away. Carrying the Hendersons. Carrying Danny. Carrying Ray. Carrying the weight of justice. Because that's what sheriffs do. They carry the dead. So the living can move forward. That's the burden. That's the cost. That's the truth beneath every solved case. December 8th, 2013. When Sheriff Tom Bradley walked into that farmhouse and found 6 bodies, he thought he was responding to a tragedy. He was right. But the tragedy extended far beyond that night. 6 people died. 1 survived. The killer was caught. Justice was served. But Danny Henderson lost his entire family, his childhood, his innocence, and he'll carry that for the rest of his life. Raymond Mitchell sits in prison, haunted, tortured, destroyed by his own evil. And Tom Bradley carries the weight. The knowledge that betrayal and greed led to 6 murders. That anger and revenge destroyed 2 families. That one 9-year-old boy hid in a closet and watched his world end. Some cases are solved quickly. Some take years. But every detective who solves them carries the weight of the victims they couldn't save. Tom Bradley found the killer, brought him to justice, protected the community. But he couldn't save the Hendersons, couldn't prevent Danny's trauma, couldn't erase that night. And that's the weight he'll carry for the rest of his life. In 6 white roses on 6 graves. In a letter from a broken boy. In the question that haunts every detective. What if I'd been faster? That's the cost of solving cases. That's the burden of seeking justice. That's the truth no one tells you. Some cases are solved, but the dead stay dead. The survivors stay broken, and the detectives carry them forever.